Devil Hunter Seeker of Power is a RPG Maker game created using the 2003 engine, and was released all the way back in 2004. As such, the game is considered by many to be a classic RPG Maker game. But are people blinded by its status as a classic staple of the RPG Maker library? Or is this game a glitched out mess that is barely worth paying attention to? And the answer is a bit of both. The game is generally good in a lot of ways, but it does contain a lot of noticeable glitches, which allowed me to effectively speedrun the game during my Let's Play, where I cut out about half of the game's content. As such, it's hard for me to give this game a top rating, but I'll do my best to explain why this game manages to succeed despite its shortcomings. The basic gist of the plot is that you're playing as Solion, a demon hunter who seeks the power of the legendary serpent blade Masamune. Sadly, since I skipped a lot of the story, it isn't entirely clear to me why he desires this power, but considering the tragic past he reveals about his past love and whatnot, it wouldn't surprise me if it's a revenge thing, because it's almost always a revenge thing when it comes to those that seek power. Of course, this demon hunter quickly finds himself dragged away from his original quest into a battle with the recently released demon lord Vekasol, and has a damning, if not practical, solution. He'll release all the seals on Vekasol's power in order for him once more take on physical form, on the hunch that as an already successful demon hunter, he would have the strength necessary to kill him. After getting his butt handed to him on his first attempt, he hunts down the Serpent Blade on top of Serpent's Peak, and uses it to slay Vekasol with the aid of his loyal companions. It's hard for me to judge this aspect of the game, to be honest. By speedrunning the game and never going back to play it a second time, I have no way of knowing how the various subplots are tied up or how many of the characters get any real development. As such, I must recuse myself from judging this aspect of the game. About the only real drawback to the story that I can comment on is that there's a few typos, though some of those can be unintentionally hilarious. Devil Hunter Seeker of Power utilizes a non-random encounter system with an active time battle system. That can also be set to passive, making the game effectively turn-based, which is a good thing considering my distaste for the active time battle system. On the whole, combat is balanced rather well until you get a hold of the Serpent's Band. This little item utterly ruins the last few boss battles in the game, since they can reflect entire party attack spells back at the enemy party. This makes the final few boss battles a total joke, since almost all of their best attacks go after the entire party, and are rendered entirely meaningless by this single equipable item. Though what really hurts the game in this aspect is all of the glitches. While the most notable glitch in the game from a story perspective is that you can take on Serpent's Peak before you're supposed to, another is that you can get Vayne back into your party before you're supposed to if you complete the pit fights after Vayne has officially left the party. A glitch that makes one of the boss battles coming up in the next part of the game a lot easier. And to make matters slightly worse, the secondary system menu is a bit difficult to navigate at first. While you select options like normal to backtrack in the secondary menu, you need to press the 8 key. This makes navigating the menu a pain since your natural response is to simply hit the X key, since it's your usual choice for canceling out of a menu. Visually speaking, Devil Hunter Seeker of Power feels a bit crowded at times, but overall it's a rather solid title for the time it was released, and still stands out as being decent in terms of mapping, especially in the face of true disasters like Deadly Beauties or XRPG. About the only major graphical mistake in the game is that you can glitch out your character's walk cycle by coming down a specific ladder in the castle, which causes you to get caught in an infinite descent until you come down another ladder. Sound-wise, the game is solid and leaves me with nothing major to complain about. About the only negative thing I can say about the music is that there isn't an amazing standout track like My Glasses Are Addicted from Manakaima, or My Comrade from Desagia or Descaya present, however you want to pronounce it. While Devil Hunter Seeker of Power is definitely a classic RPG Maker game, it's hard to deny that its various flaws definitely hold it back from being something truly amazing. The various glitches and the broken nature of the Serpent's Band ruin the final few battles, or forces the player to play handicapped, which is something I don't like to do in a video game, since I really shouldn't have to hinder myself on purpose in order to make combat interesting. On the story side of things, the game seems rather well told from what I experienced, and the few typos are largely good for laughs. All in all, this is a rather solid RPG Maker title that is worth taking a look at if you've never played it before. And one more thing before I forget about it, there is a major glitch that can crash the game if you jump between areas and enemies occupying the space you will land in. The game is unable to deal with this issue and simply hangs. It can't start a battle since you're not in contact with the enemy, but since the landing area is occupied, you can't jump across the gap either.